Redneck is the classic stereotype, mostly for working-class people in the southern area. It is not universally accepted today, as most people realize it's an exaggeration to say all, or even most, Americans are like this. Pretty much a fact, the American people are diverse in pretty much everything. It's called the melting pot of cultures and traditions for a reason. When people think of the typical American, most think of someone who is loud, rowdy, or boisterous. Some of this can be due to Americans being more prone to pick fights or argue. I don't find the stereotype to be that accurate. Entitled, many think the US is a land of rampant nationalism. This nationalism is linked to a narcissistic attitude and a sense of superiority. This entitlement may come from the fact that America is considered more free than other countries. This mostly comes from the argument that the US practices neo-colonialism, also from the fact that the US has a history of getting involved with foreign conflict. However, it primarily exerts soft power today. This is not always the stereotype, thankfully, as is often the case in many other accounts in Europe, which state that American tourists are upbeat, friendly, and sometimes perceived as rude and entitled when touring other countries. Unintelligent Americans have been stereotyped as ignorant or otherwise lacking knowledge. I don't know exactly how this one came to be. Maybe it comes from the whole redneck thing, I'm not sure. It's a fact at this point, Americans are generally not as strong in geography as citizens of other developed nations. Geography is commonly not a standalone subject in our schools, and thus there are often not enough resources to teach it properly. A survey showed that Americans answered only 41% of geography questions correct. I hate to say it, but this one's kind of true, guys. A large portion of the population is obese. It is true that Americans in general are relatively rich compared to the global population. There is a wide disparity in wealth. However, a significant portion of the US population lives in poverty.